But with a library, imagine that.
Vile times when beggars could put letters down.
Me? The more I drink.
A new right teach. You're a bigger rat picker than me.
Look awfully suspicious to me, tramp.
Where did you from?
Willows. It's into the area 2 days road from Kazima. God arrived here just before winter. Blackwood's been doing no harm.
Is this truly what life? To be purveyor of cheap whores and watered down wine?
Hey, you can't control what I inherit.
But you can control what you...
What was that about?
She spat in my face. Or might as well have. Called me a whoremonger and a witless hack. Can you imagine? Wit is my forte.
Gotta say, Priscilla's really growing on me.
Save it.
And why don't you save your pouting? Prove to her she's wrong.
Exactly what I plan to do. I've always dreamed of having my own cabaret. A bit of paint and plaster, and this place will do splendidly. Just one hitch. I need coin. So, if you happen to get a break between drowners and ecamajigs, maybe you can help an old friend out.
Where do you get this cabaret idea?
It's been a dream for years. Ever since we...
I remember.
How could you forget? That is, of course...
How can I help you?
I dated this girl once, Sophronia. That's a name if you can believe it. Has a merchant for a father, importer of spices from Zerrikania. And Daddy Dear would never refuse his daughter Dear a thing. We can borrow the coin from her.
Name rings a bell. Isn't this the woman you abandoned without saying a word? Stepped out for a bottle of wine, never to return?
You know, I bought that wine for a reason.
Long time ago, that.
Been away a while, sure.
Fine. Tell me what you want. Got a feeling you've a plan all cooked up.
Sophronia could still be holding a grudge after our unfortunate parting. But with a touch of help from you, I know she'll forgive me. And
What's this help entail?
first of all, we need to borrow a dull sword from Madame Irina, one of her props. You know, the kind they use during performances? Get that, then meet me outside Sophronia's house.
Let's say I agree and go see Madame Irina. What'll you be doing in the meantime?
Something I have to finish.
Fine, but...
Geralt, the only buts in this plan will be the ones... Get the sword from Madame Irina.
Old man Newman left me a gift last time. What? He never given me nothing but floppy diddly. He don't know how to give it.
What's he schemed up this time?
What was it happened to Foltest again? Got my eye on you, white one.
So, how'd it go with this healer?
I was faffing about minding my own business when suddenly up he pops and heals me.
Whoa! What a killer!
So...
Got a request. Need to borrow one of your props. One of the swords you use for stage battles.
Mine? Whatever do you need that for?
I don't know, but Dandelion claims it's a sin.
Oh, yes. I suspected Master Dandelion might have a hand in this. I certainly hope you don't aim.
Thanks. I'll try not to damage it.
Oof, I've worked up quite the appetite.
you or not to do, that is the...
Cyprian White has disappeared. By killing? Or we done a runner?
Order of the hierarch. Whosoever conceals a mage in their home shall burn alongside him.
Will's mightier than a sword, oh yes.
Finally made it. Listen, here's the plan. Sophronia loves adventure-filled romance novel. I'll have her eating out of my hand, and there's no...
Want me to be the bandit?
Knew you'd see the sense in it.
Are you serious? That's your brilliant plan?
I never called it brilliant, but any kind of plan is better than none. Written your lines already,
You've written what?
so you know what to say during the performance. Here, and your mask. Put it on. Sophronia can't recognize you.
But
No time. Sophronia's coming. Stick to the plan. We'll meet at the Rosemary in the morning.
stop right there.
What is this? Help! Save me!
Tremble, flaxen-haired wench. Bow before the Prince of Thieves.
Not so fast. Drop your sword, scoundrel. This is your first and last warning.
Dandelion!
'Tis I, though the scum of the city call me the Crimson Avenger.
No, not the Crimson Avenger.
Silence, vermin! You shall regret the day you were born.
Go on, Dandelion!
On guard!
I mean, Crimson Avenger!
You're better than I thought.
Help!
The Crimson Avenger triumphs again.
My hair! Are you well?
One blow struck true. Another scar from my collection.
Come inside. I shall bandage you up. Be gone, vile bandit, or the Crimson Avenger will beat you senseless! And her lad deals fist tech.
Greetings to the honourable gentleman. Razors, scissors, knives, ground to sharpness mere moments ago.
Need a trim. Think you can manage? So long.
Why'd you give any food to that beggar?
My head spins.
He wouldn't be hungry to find paperwork.
From now on, assume your every move's observed. Non-human, are you? Free boy. What do I gotta do to get a lovely pal like yours?
Oh, come on!
Hey. Boy, what do I gotta do to get a lovely pal like yours?
Time on fire. Father of all spends all
there you
their
go with
days
this
in the
thing.
jungle.
Fucking about minding your own business when suddenly up he pops.
Where you stand? Why not at your waist like everyone?
Got my eye on you, white one.
I've buried my whole family. Blackwood's killed my son.
What are you doing?
Lost my wife.
Not gonna stay my minute.
There's been a misunderstanding. You're here too early.
We agreed to meet today, so we've come today. Supplies are all hauled in and we'll start just as soon as our lovely directress gets round.
But Dandelion doesn't even have the...
Turns out he does now, or soon will. At any rate, he's working on...
See, it's all peach. So will you...
What are our choices?
Master Dandelion said he was torn between boudoir style and theatre decor. Promised to let us know his choice as soon as we arrived. Now we're here, but no decision's been made. And the lady's horribly surprised she's to choose. Though apparently this whole renovation's for her sake.
For me?
Well, it's not for me. Now, would you please decide?
I've no idea what Dandelion would like. Geralt, you've known him longer. Say something.
You're both stage artists, and cabaret's a form of theater. Interior should reflect that.
A wonderful choice it is. At last. Gentlemen, you're done lollygagging. Get to work.
Well, guess this cabaret's the real thing.
Ever since Dandelion inherited this place, he's talked about it.
Who knows? Might even settle down now.
Despite what people say.
We talking about the same Dandelion? Man who loses a fortune worth half of Novigrad in one night?
Dandelion can also be responsible. He always pays anyone who works for him on time, and he's...
Sure hope your opening won't be the first. He's still not here.
Well, he said as soon as he got the coin, he'd go... I certainly hope he's not gotten...
Anything's possible with Dandelion.
That's just talk.
Eternal fire, why?
You copper.
Right, it's clear as the eternal fire. Got my eye on you, white one.
I serve the eternal fire.
We can go in here.
What say you, we are both?
I'll smash your face.
Polly, everything all right? Open up!
What's the ruckus about?
Polly and her half-brained fiancé. They're fighting. She's the only one in this town who knows anything about choreography, and that lummox... Hold on.
We were, but you didn't show.
Priscilla started worrying about me?
Less for her than for you,
Did you not hear what's going on in there? We've got to help Polly. Why do beautiful women...
No idea.
Wait, do we have to destroy her house?
How would you know?
It's not as if
You'd visit her?
I'd hide...
So,
I never...
the one exception.
Who you were just saying is...
Fine, let's find the key.
What a bloody dig.
Not here.
Now, where would she leave?
The key.
Think I'd piss me trousers. Whoa! What the devil's this? Get out of my house!
Watch it, and leave the woman alone.
What the... She's my betrothed.
But I'm not your property.
I love her. I'll not let her sway her ass in his brothel.
Whoa, slow down there a minute. This is...
Shove your excuses up.
My friend asked you nicely, so please be courteous in return and hear him out, or we'll settle this another way.
All right, talk.
Hubio, right? Polly's told me so much about you.
You said that? Well, here's a... Get out of here, both of you.
Let him finish. There's no brothel involved.
You see, friend, Geralt just hit the nail on the head. For what you have...
Old.
Very. I, however, would never let...
So, what's all this about?
Your betrothed is a first-class artiste, and I want to offer her a position worthy of her talents. She's to be my choreographer, and that in turn means she'll receive a share of the proceeds from every performance she choreographs.
You mean to say... coin?
And fame. No flirting required. You have my word.
I knew you'd agree.
It's settled then. See you at the...
Well, I'm off.
I'll catch up to you. Whew. Never...
You handled it well, Dandelion. Man was body in your hands when...
In negotiation, as in...
So,
I've still got to stop by Rotlex. Commissioned some new placards from him a while ago.
who's Rodlick?
Never heard of him?
Commissioned a port...
Henry's an old friend, and I decided...
I'll go see Rodlick. You head back to the...
Really?
No, said that for the hell of it.
Portside.
See you soon.
What's the hurry, my prince? Just a bit more and I'll drop this job.
Think I'd piss me trousers. I'm about to shoot.
You'll squirt your kidneys! What's up, glove? Sit your trousers.
Name, Gordon.
It's a waste of money.
Fuck.
Me wives miss me. What can I do?
Springtime, the roads.
Been here, been there. Same shite.
Sun bright.
Looking for Rodlick.
You ain't alone. Damn halfling's in debt to half the city. But I'm here to scrape mine before the carcass is picked clean.
There's not enough for everyone, so bugger off. Feeding time's first come, first served.
You're not gonna rob him.
Strange, don't recall asking your permission. Get him, Fred!
Witcher.
Regret this, mutant.
Damn it.
Tell me what you want, damn it!
Placards.
There ain't no ploughing placards here.
And Rodlick, where's he?
Same place as always.
See? Wasn't that easy?
Hey, pretty boy. What do
Go
I
on.
tell you, Mr. City of Arts?
Ah!
This
Watch where you...
Yeah, right.
Chance to surrender unorthodox forces.
To me.
More years enough to send you to steal.
Well, an art freak.
Well, seems you're a considerable psalm in your head.
You Rodlick?
Henri Rortlick, artist, painter.
Dandelion sent.
Oh, yes. Tell him his placards are done and safely hid.
Think I might have run into one of them.
Then you know my predicament. Now, Count de Louverton has offered me the chance to win it all back.
Generous. Not just anybody could afford to do that.
De Louverton is not just anybody. He's Duke Sam's youngest son. Sam of the well-known family of gem dealers. One debt more or less makes...
What's there to worry about? This is your chance to settle up, get a clean slate.
We've had a spell of bad luck lately. Should I agree to de Louverton's offer and lose, I shall be in bondage to him for all time.
Let's do this. I'll enter the race. You'll bet on me, win, pay your debts, then give me the placards.
You're that good a rider?
Far from the worst. Go tell the Count you accept his offer.
You still aim to get 10 paces of excess for the figure. No doubt it's I'm not sure I understand.
Run, Roach. Not so fast, Roach.
Thank you. I never expected this. May I ask to what I owe this generosity?
Let's just say I like to do a good deed from time to time. Can we get those placards now?
I'll bring them to the Rosemary in time, just as soon as I settle my obligations.
Fine. See you there.
Ah!
Oi!
You are all running around town, grand beggars and crusaders. I've no doubt it's a matter of every time.
Synergy gains between them.
Honestly, every time I hear silence,
Oi!
there'll be time for a change of scene.
Such are the times, my good fella.
Wondering if I could take part in the races.
If you've coin for the rider's fee and a steed of your own, why not? Decide quickly, please. There's a race about to begin.
These races.
They're run as per Erasmus Vegelbud's dying wish. He can...
Family doesn't mind having a...
But the house, his fortune, would not even be there.
Any special rules?
They're as simple as Lord Erasmus.
I want a race.
Grand. Your name and the name of your steed.
Geralt of Rivia, on Roach.
Excellent. Your opponent, let me see... Seamus Holt astride Athos.
Competitors, saddle up! On 3! 1, 2, 3! Off you go!
Such are the times, my good fella. Bailiff's a harsh man. Best not so.
What's going on there?
Hear ye, hear ye! The final of the Erasmus Vegelbud Memorial Derby is over!
Not bad. Yet we shouldn't kid ourselves. The competition was hardly stiff. Shall I sign you up for another?
Like to race again.
Excellent. Don't go anywhere. We'll start soon. Your opponent this time, Viscount Roma astride Caniculus. The Viscount races incognito, so I must ask for your discretion.
Competitors, saddle up! On 3! 1, 2, 3! Off you go!
ye! The final of the Erasmus Vegelbud Memorial Derby is over! The winner is Geralt of Rivia, riding Roach Glory to the victor! Bravo! Congratulations, you won in style. Shall I sign you up for another?
Want to try again?
Gained an appetite, have we? Your opponent this time, Luke Vegelbud, young Lord Albert's cousin, atop succubus. He's the black sheep of the family, but he's not lost a race yet, so he's seen as something of a local champion. Competitors, saddle up! On 3! 1, 2, 3! Off you go!
Back again! I heard ballads about you. And that's...
Hear ye! The final of the Erasmus Vegelbud Memorial Derby is over! The winner is Geralt of Rivia, riding Roach Glory to the victor! Fantastic race! Congratulations! A grand victory! Is there a land where I might find more of your kind?
Geralt of Rivia. Got it right.
What do you want?
To express my admiration on account of your victory. And here, brought you an invitation from the boss. He'd like to congratulate you personally. Farewell.
It's gotten so I'm afraid to see the surgeon.
never know when they'll accuse him of witchcraft.
Go, go. Come on now.
She cast no spells, on my honor.
An elf's honor worth less than a man's shit.
Ever heard the legends of the White Wolf? Spare me a crown.
Come by the chameleon.
Black ones, Medanians.
Tonight.
Crown in the
evening. Performance by the
Start in G major, and
Well, well. See, the crew's been hard at work. Not bad.
I love it. What about Rotlick?
Rotlick said he'd bring them on his own.
Great! The best way I can think.
Never mentioned wanting to change.
Rosemary in Time wasn't all bad, but it conjured images of Temerian cuisine. Chameleon's a lot better for a cabaret, apart from which it emphasizes that the place is
What about choreography? Prepared anything special for the opening?
We haven't. But Polly has. She's priceless. Came in and brought the girls in line before I could say knickers. Premiere will have the audience on their feet, on their knees, both at the same time.
Guess everything's ready. So when's the opening?
Soon. We start our dress rehearsal in an hour. I just need to nip back home.
Thanks for everything.
Don't mention it.
Seems my cabaret dreams are about...
Why not?
That's my boy. The foreman mentioned...
He's all right.
And...
She said you've gained some weight, and that you should bathe more often.
Very funny, Geralt. Shove it.
Well, well. Never thought I'd live to see the day.
I've always been monogamous.
Priscilla, another...
No, she's...
One thing's eating me. How do you...
Ugh, wasn't easy. She got so excited about our performance,
You mean you...
Are you crazy? Who... She's late, of course. She knew how important this night was to me.
Of course she did. Probably just making herself gorgeous. Takes...
So it's true. A woman...
Ask the dandelion! Priscilla, she's...
What? Speak, man.
She's badly, been attacked. They took her to Vulmerius Hospital.
Attacked? She's hurt? Geralt, come with me, please.
Of course. Let's go.
Gods. Priscilla. Is she gonna live?
Well, I'd say that's certain. Her condition's critical but stable.
Relative? No.
Dandelion, correct? She uttered the name in her few moments of lucidity. I am Joachim von Gratz, head of...
Enough of the courtesies. What are her injuries, besides her eye?
A concussion, cranial swelling, incision into her larynx, and scalding inside the throat and esophagus. Clearly someone forced her to imbibe a caustic fluid.
So this was no ordinary attack, no robbery.
Clearly not. It was the act of a demented mind, and not its first.
How can you know that?
I've seen wounds like this. They're not the kind one would forget, don't you agree? In fact, just this week a corpse turned up in the morgue with similar injuries. And no heart.
No heart? You mean that might have happened to Priscilla? Is someone looking into this?
This is Novigrad. Only the innocent burn here.
Geralt, I know I owe you 100 times over, but I need to ask you another favor. Find the bastard who did this. Find him. And kill him.
Don't need any convincing. Come on, Dandelion. Let's think about what we can do.
I would suggest examining the previous victim's corpse. It has yet to be autopsied. No need to look astonished, gentlemen. As a surgeon, I know the importance of preventive medicine. Rather than wait for this maniac to strike again, I'd prefer to excise.
Great analogy, but this tumor's not gonna sit there, wait to be excised. Appreciate the help, but I doubt you know what you're getting yourself into.
I know perfectly well, and I assure you...
Easy assurance to make, harder to back up, especially if you've spent your whole life wielding a scalpel, not a sword.
Look at this scar. Don't be shy. Any idea what leaves such a mark?
A flail. Morningstar, maybe.
What do you think? A blow sustained at the operating table? No?
Think they'll let me into the morgue?
By the main entrance, certainly not. But you can also get inside through the sewers.
The sewers? Travel them often, Doctor?
As often as required for...
Alternative treatments. Aggressive ones, I'm guessing.
We can discuss this en route.
Ready and intrigued. I'll get whoever did this, Dandelion. Even if it's Hierarch Hemmelfart himself.
Thanks.
You lead.
So, preventive medicine you practice in the sewers. What's that about?
Think. Sewing up drowner victims can grow awfully tedious. Hear that?
Been hearing it for a while. Draw your weapon. How's it look? Give it to me straight, no sugarcoating.
Her wounds will heal, but it's her voice that concerns me. Surely you understand what a terrible blow that would be to a Troberet. Enough to strip her of the will to live.
Any remedy for that?
I fear only your friend Dandelion can be of help on that count. Take the ladder. This is the place. Come, the quicker we take care of this, the better.
Why? Got somewhere to be?
Someone might disturb us. The coroner, for example. Or Reverend Nathaniel Custody. Very well. We seek the corpse of a dwarven woodcarver.
Human. Wrong body type. Let's keep looking. Looks like necrophage has got to this one. Calluses on the fingers, sawdust in the beard, clothes sticky with sap. Must be our dwarf.
Excellent. I trust you don't grow weak in the knees at the sight of blood?
Not a bit. Start the autopsy.
Where?
Let's look at his head. Hair smells like it's burnt, like he was in a fire.
Notice anything else? That his eyes have been scooped out, for instance?
Those burn marks I see in his eye sockets.
Yes, and some grey dust. Ash, it seems, very fine.
Murderer gouged out his eyes, then put burning coals in the sockets.
So it seems. Looking at the wounds, it appears our woodcarver was still alive when it happened.
Let's examine the mouth. Burns, blisters.
Just like Priscilla's.
See this? Incision made into the voice box.
Indeed, so thin as to be nearly unnoticeable.
A small, extremely sharp instrument. Scalpel?
But why? The wound is too small to bleed, and there are signs of swelling. The murderer... I believe he performed a tracheotomy, so the victim wouldn't die too soon.
Let's examine his torso.
What have we here? Deep wound on the left side of his rib cage, and a scar the length of his stomach.
Let's examine the chest wound. Yeah, heart carved out, wound cauterized.
Wait a minute, there's something else.
An egg from an amphibian. A salamander? Scorched but intact.
I attended some lectures in herpetology as a student. Afraid I don't recall any amphibians that would lay eggs in corpses. So either Professor Cochrane was deeply mistaken, or this is our murderer's doing.
Look at the scar. Wounds long and thin, an incision, but the edges are ragged.
Means nothing. Look, no swelling, no bruises. An old injury, perhaps an accident in the workplace.
Open the abdominal cavity.
Due warning, it will stink of rot.
Once fought a Zoogle up to my waist in sewage, so I doubt... Wait. Smells not rot.
Formaldehyde. A medical novelty. Heavily diluted, it's remarkable at preserving organic tissue. In stronger proportions, it's more destructive than acid.
Explains why there's no smell of decay, and why his throat's scalded. Look at his hands. These welts. Rope burns, right? He was tied up.
I'd expect so. No one could sit through such torture unless bound.
Speaking from experience?
Yes, that of a victim. Spent a year in the dungeons of Tretogor. Long story.
Some other time, maybe. See the callus? Our dwarf wore a ring, but someone took it off him. See anything interesting on his legs?
His right foot. The ankle swollen, toenails broken. He clearly kicked something very hard. right before he kicked the bucket.
Doesn't strike me as the right time for jokes.
Apologies. We surgeons, we've a different sensibility.
Mm-hmm. And a different sense of humor. His genitals, we ought to inspect those.
I sincerely doubt they bear any relation to the matter.
We'll see. Pull down his trousers and... shit.
Syphilis, actually. Early stages. No sign of diffusion.
Think there could be a connection?
Only as the killer's potential motivation.
All right. Think I know enough.
Enlighten me, please, because I've still no notion what this is about. What the motive might have been.
It's some kind of sick ritual. You saw it. Burns in the eye sockets, cavity where the heart should be, scalding liquid, all centering on warmth, heat, fire.
A fire eternal.
It's a lead worth following. Any idea what his name was?
Fabian Meyer. And I'm Hubert Reich, the coroner. I've come to perform the autopsy, but I see you've done it for me, Joachim. As always, you interfere where you're neither needed nor wanted. Drag others into trouble in the process. Who is this?
A student. Lifelong learner. Got a couple questions for you.
Very well, speak. But be quick. Reverend Nathaniel has come by for an inspection. He'll be here shortly.
You old friends?
Hubert taught...
And not very well.
You've not changed...
A compliment?
No, a state...
Woodcarver's body. Where was it found? It's important.
Plan to investigate? Exciting. He died in his workshop south of the market square, just beside the gate to Far Corners. That poor Trebirans was attacked there. City's abuzz about it. But the woodcarver, Eustace the corpse collector, brought us the body.
Who are these people? I believe I made it clear no one's to be allowed in under any circumstances.
You did, but they're friends of the deceased. Here to collect the body.
Out of the question. Show them out at once.
As your reverence wishes. Gentlemen, follow me.
Why'd you cover for us?
I was covering my own arse. If Reverend Nathaniel had learned someone had entered the morgue, then cut open a corpse without his permission, I'd be in deep trouble. But you didn't give that a thought, did you, Joachim? As ever. Well, while I don't approve of your willfulness, I also wish to see this murderer hang. So, should I learn anything new related to this case, I will let you know.
Thank you.
Nathaniel.
A scoundrel. A rogue.
Most are scoundrels, but...
True in his case as well. Later, Hierarch Hemmelfart appointed him to oversee the morgue. He deals with the temple...
Might have told me you know the coroner. We could have skipped the trip through the sewers.
I know him, thus I avoid him.
Don't aim to press you.
Thank you. I've nothing to hide. It's just an old wound, unhealed as yet. What will you do now?
Plenty of leads. Woodcarver's workshop, the corpse collector who found him, alley where Priscilla was attacked. Got work to do.
As do I. At the hospital. I must return there. But I shall keep my fingers crossed.
And I'll keep my eye on you.